Okay.
So good evening. This is the Oakland Police Commission Rules of Order Ad Hoc. Our goal is to create a set of rules for the commission to follow with respect to how it conducts its meetings and how it is forward-facing to the public. This is an ad hoc comprised of Commissioner Regina Jackson, who is our chair emeritus and is a valuable member of this particular ad hoc because of her history of several years on the commission. Marcia Carpenter Peterson as the current chair on the ad hoc, and our vice chair, Ricardo Garcia Acosta. It is a ad hoc that is open to the public because these rules are published and are on our website. So with respect to the public being members, you are welcome. Tonight, we are going to kick off the ad hoc just by defining what we want to accomplish. This meeting will not last an hour and a half, but will set the parameters of how we want to proceed. We are going to be looking at not only the current rules and endeavoring to update them and expand them as necessary, but also due to the work that we did on the enabling ordinance, there might be some additional elements that need to be taken and observed there and placed in our rules. So all members of the ad hoc will receive a copy of our current rules as well as the enabling ordinance edits for us to look at and determine whether or not we need to include some elements within our, as I said, our rules. So welcome, Commissioner Jackson. And of course, our Chief of Staff, Micah Montgomery.
Hello.
Thank you.
Did you want to add anything, Commissioner Jackson?
I wanted to say that, fairly consistently, the rules of order were amended. It's been quite some time. It's been about 3 years since we've made any updates to the rules of order. I'm also interested in us going back and taking a look at the chair responsibilities because they were weaponized at one point and maybe don't need all of that. I don't even know what the words are, limitations, especially while we are looking to enable the powers of the vice chair. So thank you.
Correct. And that weaponization was under previous leadership, and we're trying to not create the type of narrow view of how commissioners operate, however, with some boundaries and respect for the chair position. So we will find that happy medium without creating a necessity to have it be a chair dominated or chair driven commission. So do we want to start here with the definition of terms and just run through and kind of highlight where we feel we need to expand or retract, and then move on to look at the enabling ordinance to determine whether or not we should highlight some opportunities there to include language within our rules?
I think that's a good start, particularly for Ricardo, who's fairly new.
Okay.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, he will not, or he has not joined us yet, but this is a recorded ad hoc. So let's go. I'm looking at the different definitions. I think action item is you know, I think it's appropriate, adopt it, I think appropriate. Agenda, chair, charter, commission, committee. Committee shall mean a subgroup of commission members not comprised of a quorum of commissioners. Committee of the commission. What I'd like to say here is we had some inquiry from the public surrounding our community policing / pursuit policy, feeling as though we did not publish an agenda. And what we might want to say upon advice of counsel is not only say that an agenda is not, a published agenda is not required, but best practice may indicate that we announce at the beginning of each meeting what the expectation is for that particular meeting, so that members of the public who tune in at the beginning will know, well, this is what we're going to talk about. And they can continue on with the meeting or not. But oftentimes our ad hoc meetings are not freewheeling. I don't want to say that, but I want to say that we are confined to a topic, but the topic is broad, the rules. And so we might have a discussion around one particular aspect of the rules, and then we give an anecdote, or we talk about, well, maybe it's a good idea to see what the ethics commission rules look like, or maybe it's a good idea to ask the Berkeley commission or the San Francisco commission what it is they have. So these things aren't necessarily in an agenda, but they may come up during the meeting as, hey, that's a good idea, kind of thing. And that is a good idea. Hey, why don't we contact the police commission of the city of Berkeley, the police commission of the city of San Francisco, and ask for a copy of their rules.
One sec. Berkeley and San Francisco.
Are there others, Commissioner Jackson, that you think we should maybe look at as well?
I think we could be exhaustive with it. And since we are the strongest commission in the country, arguably nobody's rules will anticipate what we should be anticipating. So let's go ahead and start with San Francisco and Berkeley and see what they've got. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That would be great. Your screen has taken half of the rules off.
Go away. Go back. There we go.
There we are.
Mhm.
We don't do much on a consent calendar, but that's fine. There's a typo here, just needs a space in the J, third sentence, yeah. Open city council, let's see, municipal code, open meetings, rules, secretary. We do not have an executive secretary of the commission.
Why don't we just say administration or list the admin analyst position? Because that's, I think, the through line of what they're intending to communicate. You know, I was wondering if we should have a definition for community engagement.
And that is why I was trying to source out what that would mean.
What, community engagement?
No, why it would
Oh.
have its own definition in our rules as opposed to any other work we do?
Well, I mean, we could have community policing too, but I think it's important to clarify what we mean, because we sometimes have engagement that is, face to face, via Zoom, and otherwise, but how commissioners are expected to engage in community. Um, if you
Okay.
don't think it's important, that's fine. I just think
I was
we
thinking
talk a
that,
lot. Mhm.
yeah, you could put it there, but and a question mark about how we source that out, if we're meaning that we want to maybe add a rule that say commissioners should engage in at least one community outreach effort a month or something like that. Is that, if that is going to be a rule, and therefore,
No, no, I was really looking to define what it is because it could be fairly narrowly interpreted. And as much as we talk about engaging with community, we don't have it, we're not tethered to it in any kind of formal space. So that's why I was suggesting.
well, I got it, but we want to have a definition
Yeah,
because we're going to use that somewhere in our rule. What is
correct.
the rule that goes along with that?
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll have to look at that.
Yeah. So community engagement and make that yellow. Yeah. And when you said that, I thought of one other thing that we might have to start looking at. It came and it went. Okay. It'll come back to me. Okay, organization and meeting. Adoption of rules. The commission's rules of order shall be adopted by motion, carried by an affirmative recorded vote of a majority. When adopted, such rules remain in effect unless suspended. The chair may adopt temporary rules. Huh. What would, give me an example of the chair adopting temporary rules to address a specific situation or point of order in a commission meeting where such situation.
You want me to give you an example?
Yeah,
Okay,
where
well,
ever come
we,
up.
yeah, well, we, probably should have though, huh? Um,
We wouldn't
um,
have ever gotten a majority of votes, though.
so say, can you state, the, the subject and then I will try and
Well,
provide
the chair
a
may
scenario.
adopt temporary rules to address a specific situation or point of order in a commission meeting where such situation or point of order is not covered in these rules.
The only thing, well, I can think of a couple things. Um, for example, the chair should not delegate their authority to a non official, member of the commission. Um, I don't mean non-official, but not an elected, like chair or vice chair.
In other words,
Um,
the only delegation should be, I'm thinking that when you decide that, for instance, you're making up ad hocs and
mhm.
it's going to be in an ad hoc and you've excluded members and that's voted on as a majority in a meeting, which is, or you delegate to a commissioner who's not a member of an ad hoc to review and change the work. Remember, that was our annual review, annual report.
Yes.
how do we capture that that should never happen?
No individual commissioner
Having
will
not,
have permission to review or change or an ad hoc's recommended policy or language.
now, what is that under this rule? See, I think this is the kind of rule that bothers me. The chair may adopt temporary rules to address meaning when such
Well, I
is.
think so. I think that
I
the
don't like this
chair.
at all.
Well, I think that the chair should have the opportunity to create rules or suspend rules to avoid contention or
That to me is subjective. Remember, get in line or remove or be removed.
well, but that's, don't we have a rule that says you shouldn't be rude or that people could be sanctioned for unprofessional behavior?
I move that such and such commissioner be sanctioned for rude and disrespectful behavior. You second it. It dies because we don't get the majority.
Mm-hmm.
But at least we've made the motion on the record.
Absolutely. And that's why I was saying that the chair should not should not select an individual commissioner, to run their meeting or to, you know what I mean, be in charge. That should be a chair or vice chair role and responsibility.
So that is while we have kind of tweezed that discussion out of this sentence, that's a separate rule.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I was trying to give you an example, two examples of how it could be used based upon our own personal experience, because I think that is the best teacher.
Right. So no individual commissioner will have the authority to review or modify the recommended policy. They can make a recommendation. See, because when we come with a recommendation from an ad hoc, commissioners do have the right to make comments, which we did take under consideration.
Correct.
But to reassign the work product.
To then be critiqued by someone who is not serving on the ad hoc. And then that's the other thing.
Take the
I
vote.
think that it would also be inappropriate for the commission to vote on recommendations without members of the ad hoc present.
Or vote on recommendations not approved or accepted by the ad hoc. You work on something for 3 months and then someone says, well, I've looked at it, I don't like it. These are my changes and I want everybody to vote on my changes. So how do we capture that?
Well, I think that Micah's making some notes is good because we haven't quite run through to figure out where those particular recommended rules would be, best placed.
Yes. And even a vote will be required for any recommendations not approved or accepted by the ad hoc committee. I don't think we should even subject it to a vote the any recommendations outside of the ad hoc committee recommendations, for like, I don't want to be redundant, but I'm trying to, any recommendations outside of that are not accepted by the ad hoc should not be the subject of a vote. I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of like, we're thinking about it. We're working through it. Shall not be incorporated, shall not be subject to a vote, or shall not be incorporated. Shall not be incorporated or subject to a vote of the full commission. You don't like it that way?
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. My son was asking me if something was too loud. I was trying to tell him no without saying no in the meeting.
And this is, I don't think this is correct, at the first regular meeting of the commission held in January. That's what the charter says.
Yeah, I think that the, when this got clarified was the beginning of the gap of rules meeting. So it just was never updated.
Okay.
Because way back when initially, Micah, we were doing it in February. And I'm not even sure why. I think we were told by one of the city staff, and then we just kept that going.
Okay. I made a note to change to January.
Yeah, even their meeting held in, it should be in January of the following year. I should have told the mayor that. The rules require this. Or until election of a new chairman, which occurs later. If more than one commissioner is nominated for, the nominees may each speak. And that's okay. The commission may discuss the nominations, and when the vote for each office is called, the nominee receiving the majority. The office of election occurs in the office of the chair. The chair and new election will be held. Yeah, that's what's gonna be happening on the 24th. Any commissioner may move that a vote of no competence be taken as a chair. Yeah, we were in a rock and a hard place here. Chair and vice chair, removal of officers. Okay, meetings and rules of procedure. Okay, my motion, which shall be second and passed. Okay. So the chair, I want to say the chair and vice chair.
Right
Just-
here,
Yeah, the chair and vice chair.
chair or vice chair.
No,
No.
and vice chair. And or vice chair, maybe. Yeah. Because I just think it's very important that the vice chair be involved in these things. In the event the regular meeting venue is unavailable, another appropriate venue.
You know what, as it relates to that, and this may not be the place,
Okay.
but the vice chair must be invited to all meetings with direct reports or something like that.
Okay, so that would be under the vice chair.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, while I was thinking about it.
Yeah, because you know, those
Oh, yeah. Look,
those thoughts
yes.
escape you quickly. I know they do me. So we want to add, yeah, that to the vice chair. Special meetings of the committee, the chair or majority of the subject to crimes may call a special meeting. Okay, in addition, as required there, the enablement twice each year, the commission will hold one of its regularly scheduled meeting. I thought it was two. Okay, so we've checked that box. No, at least twice a year. One, wait a minute.
Yeah, the way we would do it was one in the spring and one in the fall or summer, when it was easier to move around.
So we've done one at Allen Temple in the spring. We probably need to, it's too late now. I mean, you'd have to call one in November. And we already said we
No,
weren't.
yeah, that's right. It's okay. Again, what we do is we communicate to the leadership, the importance of the priority.
Yeah, setting that schedule in advance. The rules are Brown, or Robert's rules, small boards, the commission's legal says, or such person as may be led by the presiding upon approval, the commission shall serve as the official parliamentarian. Okay. Motions, if he makes a motion, so it should not be debated or further is considered until after a second was made by another commission. Moved in second in discussion. Got it. 5 minutes. Yeah, quorum, 5. Now, I don't know if we want to put this in there because I think Connor was trying to tell me how there's some directives around alternates and the alternates not being in closed session. But I think where alternates are concerned, it should be more than just to establish a quorum and cast votes. They should be, and this wouldn't be the place for it. There's someplace else. I think there must be a rule on alternates to provide consistency of knowledge of commission business. Alternates should be included in closed session discussions. So I don't know whether
Now,
down.
do we need to ferret out the legal interpretation, or is this a
You know, tweets
recommendation?
say no, they couldn't. There's something that prevents it, and it's not like a case law or anything like that. It was very confusing, but I know that Corelli was subjected to that interpretation by Connor. Angela was subjected to that. I don't know if Omar has had Katina or Twee talk to him in around that as well. But can we just make a note that we would like?
Yeah, let's do that.
Put a note that we want to include for continuity of knowledge of issues before the commission. Alternates shall be included in closed session.
Yep.
Come on.
voting. Every official act of the commission shall be adopted by majority vote of the commissioners present at the meetings and eligible to vote. Commissioners shall vote in alphabetical order according to their surnames, with the presiding officer of the commission voting last. Commissioners present shall vote for or against each question brought to the vote, do a vote, or may also abstain from voting. Any commissioner seeking to abstain shall state the grounds for the abstention. Voting by proxy is prohibited. Are the names listed in alphabetical order when
Let me see.
Yes, yes, they are.
they are, except the vice chair is the first one that I
Correct.
call. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then the alternate is after all the commissioners. And obviously his last name is F, so yes.
Okay. In the absence of a quorum, no information may be presented to, and no official action shall be taken by the commissioners present, except to order a call of the commission, to reschedule the meeting, to recess the meeting, or to adjourn the meeting. Can we say efforts to establish in advance a quorum and a failure to have a quorum, the meeting could be canceled without the, I just hate that everybody has to come down to City Hall to find out there's no quorum.
I think that that was the intention, that people have to make their best effort. Now, I believe in being prepared. And so if you, if we want to establish a regular cadence where you take anticipated attendance a week before the meeting or something like that, and just establish that every time, then you'll know, like say for summer when you're not going to have a quorum because people are on vacation or something.
Or we also know that, say, due to exigent circumstances or personal issues or whatever, we know that, say, 3 commissioners, may be out, or we won't have a quorum. And we know that several days in advance. Do we have to drag everybody down there?
I think that what we should try to do is propose a process that is an ongoing process. It's not, just for the summer or the holiday meetings, that we have a regular cadence of meeting availability. Because as you know, sometimes there are requests for meetings that are outside of the natural order of meetings. So if we have meetings twice a month, the meeting, the week in between the next meeting, there should be a regular cadence of checking in on ability to attend.
So I want to address that right here, where it's rights of commission with less than a quorum. In other words,
A regular meeting confirmation will be sent out.
Yes, meeting confirmation will be sent out by the chair no less than 5 days before the scheduled meeting.
Okay.
5 calendar days.
Yeah, I was going to say 7 would be, but wow.
Okay, now that we put that in, and we're saying to notify the public the meeting is canceled. If necessary, notify the public that a quorum does not exist and the meeting is canceled.
A quorum will not exist.
A quorum will not exist and notify the public the meeting is canceled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that means it should be business days instead of calendar days.
Yes, and it might make sense to have it be more than 5 anyway.
Yeah, 7 business days.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, the chair shall preside at all meetings of the commission and shall perform all other duties necessary or incidental to that office. The chair shall represent the commission in meetings or communications with public officials, the press, and the public. Consistent with Oakland Municipal Code, Chapter 2.45, the chair may create such ad hoc committees to perform such advisory functions as the chair shall determine, and may appoint regular or alternate commissioners to such ad hoc committees. Each regular and alternate commissioner appointed by the chair to an ad hoc committee shall possess full voting authority on each such committee. The chair shall have the authority to appoint a former commissioner to an ad hoc committee as an ex officio, non-voting member of the ad hoc committee, if such former commissioner has subject matter expertise or other relevant knowledge or expertise that would assist the ad hoc committee in its work. The ex officio member of the ad hoc committee shall be bound by the same confidentiality requirements, conflict of interest rules, and other requirements as a regular commissioner or alternate commissioner. The chair shall also have authority to appoint as non-voting members of an ad hoc committee such members of the public as the chair deems fit and proper. Such public members of the ad hoc committee shall be bound by the same confidentiality requirements, conflict of interest rules, and other requirements as a regular commissioner or alternate commissioner. The chair shall have authority to remove any regular commissioner, alternate commissioner, former commissioner, or public member from any ad hoc committee. Okay, I guess that's where all that power came from. Can you move that down so I can see something I want to? Ooh.
Do you
Oh.
want to add a, kind of like an inquiry as opposed to removal? You know, based upon lack of attendance or lack of follow through or what have you?
You mean grounds for removal shall
Yeah,
include but not limited
as
to,
opposed to just being arbitrary, yeah, I'm removing it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that, Chair? Am I near it?
That's where,
At the
yeah,
very end there,
uh-huh,
grounds for removal shall include but not be limited to, at the very end of that.
Very,
Yeah, right there.
okay.
Grounds for removal shall include but not be limited to lack of attendance,
lack of follow through.
lack of follow, disruptive behavior.
There you go.
Unnecessary disruptive behavior. There might be sometimes disruption is necessary, but how do I want to frame it? I want to say like unnecessary or rude unnecessary, rude, or disruptive behavior.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we need a comma in between unnecessary and rude.
Okay. Now, this is the one that gave me the heartburn. In the absence of the ability of the or inability of the chair to act, the vice chair should take the place and perform the duties of the chair. I want the vice chair shall be included. And this is where you were saying, Regina, included in meetings with direct reports or invited to participate.
Yes, the chair will be invited, vice chair, excuse me, will be invited to participate in all meeting responsibilities of the chair, or with including, yeah.
Yeah.
Including what?
Well, that's what we're going to say. Get that part first back.
Okay.
First in. Including meetings with direct reports.
Community, chiefs meetings,
Police, chief meetings.
Community meetings.
and reports to
meetings,
city council. I don't know.
to city-
Meetings with city officials.
Yeah.
meetings with city officials
And council.
and count.
And that should be, GHS or, and legal counsel.
Just say, and legal counsel, and then that'll
Yeah.
cover whoever it is.
Okay. This is, that goes here.
Yeah, down there.
Here. That,
Also agenda prep.
they should be in, okay.
Oh, God, I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
an agenda, okay. This is one of the things, including meetings, with direct reports, committee meetings, meetings with the chief, city officials, legal counsel, reports, legal counsel, agenda prep, discussions. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, she left.
Who left?
Marcia.
Oh, okay.
She stepped away for a sec.
I'm sorry. I need something to drink other than I've been drinking a lot of water, but I really want something else. Anyway. And I don't want in the absence or inability of the chair to act.
Hmm.
Take that out. It's not in the absence or inability.
Okay.
It's almost to encourage succession planning, but I don't want to say that either. Just start with the vice chair shall take the, no, I don't want any of that.
You don't want any of this?
Well, wait a minute.
Well, you
No.
should have in there that they would be the primary person to act in the
Yeah.
absence of the
Yeah.
chair, because then, you could always have somebody just jump forward like we have had before.
Yeah, who creates the whole narrative. Yeah. So the vice chair shall take the place and perform the duties of the chair when necessary. Additionally, then we have all this other stuff. The vice chair will
Correct.
be invited. So it should be perform the duties of the chair, comma, when necessary. Additionally, then you go into this other part. Mhm. Yes, great. The agenda shall meet the requirements of government code section blah. For closed session, agenda shall meet the requirements set forth in government code, woo, and the Oakland code, municipal code. Any regular commissioner, alternate commissioner, member of the public, the executive director of the community police review agency, inspector general, SIPRA inspector general policy analyst, or member of the Oakland Police Department may submit suggested agenda topics. Yep. For discussion at regular special meetings of the commission. Items submitted by anyone other than a regular commissioner or alternate commissioner must be pre-approved by a commissioner. Submissions must be made on the form provided by the commission and submitted to the commission chair or the executive assistant of the commission. Forms shall be available at each commission meeting on the commission's website or at the office of the SIPRA. So I guess an example of that would be the handcuffing thing that Ann Jenks has been proposing, but given our bandwidth, there was no formal request, but there was, side discussions, I know.
Yeah,
About,
do we have the form though, Marcia?
I know nothing about such a form.
Okay, so then that means, Micah, that we actually need you to design one.
Okay.
But it makes it sound
And
even
this, so
form that exists somewhere.
Well,
haven't seen it.
I don't remember
I
us
wonder if
designing a form.
the city council have such a form.
Well, I mean, the other thing is we could just take this part out and say that, people who have suggestions should email the commission chair
Mhm.
and not make it that,
That form.
yeah, I feel like we want to encourage community engagement, not discourage it by making it,
Submissions can be made to the commission via,
suggestions can be made to the commission by forwarding to the chief of staff or the commission chair.
yeah. Or to the chief of staff with a copy to the chair.
So Chair, how much longer did you say we're going to be? Because it's almost 7.
I think how much more do we have, Micah, on this?
I put the regular time for.
No. How many more rules? How many more pages is this? Okay, we'll stop where we are and pick it up.
Okay.
And I only say that because, Regina, you and I only have one more swat at this.
Yep.
You guys
Well,
make
what we
progress.
could do is make the recommendations for as far as we get and put them on the agenda for approval.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, the 7th. Start here 10/7. Oops.
Okay, but by the time 10/7, I feel like we ought to have another meeting because 10/7 is too late to submit for October 10th commission meeting.
Well, that's next month. We're here on this Monday. The next Monday is the 7th.
Mhm.
I understand that, and all I'm saying is that if we're going to work on more, then perhaps we ought to have a meeting on Friday in order to be able to post on that Monday for the most updated series of rules.
How do we what are the notifications to the public if we're gonna have another ad hoc on Friday?
Micah could post it on the website.
So if you're
Mike?
gonna have another ad hoc on this Friday, another meeting on Friday, yes, then all I would have to do is put that meeting on the ad hoc and, excuse me, on the website and let our subscribers know that that's
Yeah.
happening.
Does it have to be at 6 o'clock?
Well,
Not
I
that
mean, we could
not
start
that
at
I have
5, but
anything. I don't have anything. It's just I'm tired by that time.
well, most people, we schedule them mostly for after 5 because most people are working. But we can make an additional meeting and make it 5. We could make it 5 to 6:30 or something like that.
Let me make sure I don't have a conflict.
Oh, and then there's that. We have people who have actual social lives.
Let's see here. Friday. There's a discipline committee meeting that morning to the afternoon.
Who's on the committee?
Wilson, Omar, and Ricardo.
Okay.
And so I gotta get back. Okay. Could we do like 4? Does that work? Or 4 o'clock? or
Yeah,
something?
I could do 4.
I can do 4. I will do 4.
Okay. Um, That is Friday the 10th. 4. Do you need an hour and a half, or can you do an hour, 4 to 5?
Looks like from your estimation, did we get through half of it?
Yes.
Okay. Then
Well,
we,
let's do another hour and a half, and then if we get finished within an hour, we can end early.
yeah.
Because it would be nice for us to give it, the old college, try to get it entirely completed.
Right.
Okay, so it's a placeholder on your calendar right now, and then tomorrow I'll get the Zoom stuff and post it and all that kind of stuff.
Thank you. Now, the rules and the enabling ordinance, are they also on as part of the ad hoc announcement?
No, not yet, because you just told me to send them to the committee today.
Okay. We'll put them on there too. Both
Okay,
of
will
those.
do.
Those are the documents at issue.
Okay. All right, I will do that.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
I swear I'm
And Micah, do you have contacts for the San Francisco Police Commission and the Berkeley Police Commission to request their rules?
No, I was gonna do some research tomorrow and kind of look and see what I could find.
and they may already be posted and
Oh,
we don't
yeah.
have to.
I'll do some look.
Okay. I can try and give you a couple of contacts. I'll just send them to you via email.
Thank you, Regina.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for everything.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.